It's a very strange world, and I thank you, Master Jack.
Smile a little smile for me, Rosemary. I didn't notice what time it was.
Ever wondered what happened to the bands that once ruled the airwaves in the 1960s? Some had chart-topping hits, but then poof, they vanished. Were they one-hit wonders? Did fame tear them apart? Or did they simply fade into the shadows of time? Today, we're diving into 20 incredible groups that once rocked the world, but have since fallen off the radar. From garage rock pioneers to sunshine pop sensations, their stories are fascinating, and in some cases, downright shocking. Let's begin.
Sloopy, I don't care what your daddy do.
The McCoys skyrocketed to fame with Hang On Sloopy, a song that briefly outsold the Beatles in 1965. But behind the scenes, the band was a mess. Their lead guitarist, Rick Derringer, was rumored to have clashed with producers over musical direction, leading to internal turmoil. By the early 70s, the band was done, and Derringer moved on to a successful solo career. Some say the real reason for their breakup was a wild hotel brawl that left their drummer with a broken wrist. But that's just an urban legend. More Today Than Yesterday is one of those songs you've heard a million times. But can you name the band? Spiral Staircase had a massive hit, but quickly disappeared. Some blame label politics. Others say their frontman, Pat Upton, was too much of a perfectionist, leading to delays and missed opportunities.
With you, and if all my dreams come true, I'll be.
Rumor has it that the band was offered a lucrative tour opening for the Beach Boys, but an internal feud over money and control led to them turning it down, a decision that sealed their fate.
Going home, my baby just wrote me a letter. I don't care how much money.
Fronted by a young Alex Chilton, the Box Tops had one of the shortest yet most explosive careers of the late 60s. The letter was a smash, but behind the scenes, things were messy. The band barely played on their own recordings, with studio musicians doing most of the work. Chilton later claimed he was exploited by management, earning pennies while executives got rich. Some insiders say Chilton deliberately tanked the band, showing up to gigs late or drunk, just to get out of his contract. The Peppermint Rainbow was a sunshine pop group that seemed poised for stardom, but things unraveled fast. After their breakout hit, rumors swirled that their record label forced them into a fake romance between two members to boost sales. When the relationship fell apart, so did the band. Adding to the drama, their follow-up singles flopped, and their manager allegedly vanished with a chunk of their earnings. Some say a second album was recorded, but mysteriously shelved, never to be heard.
Smile a little smile for me, Rosemary.
This British band had a massive US hit, but success was fleeting. The Flying Machine's second single bombed, and suddenly their label lost interest. Some say their frontman, Tony Newman, had an ego problem, demanding creative control and refusing to perform their biggest hit live.
So darling, dry your eyes. So many other guys.
Others claim the band had wild feuds, including one notorious fight where a guitar was allegedly smashed over a bandmate's head. By 1971, they were gone, leaving Smile a Little Smile for Me as their only legacy.
Yesterday it should have been tomorrow. I could not keep the joy that was inside.
The pioneers of Baroque pop, the Left Banke should have been huge, but internal drama destroyed them. Keyboardist Michael Brown was rumored to have dated the actual Renée from their famous song Walk Away, Renée, who just happened to be the girlfriend of another band member.
Walk away, Renée. You want to follow you back.
Awkward. Brown left the band, attempted a reunion, and failed. Some even whisper that their label blacklisted them after a dispute over royalties. Their music is still revered, but the left bank never got the comeback they deserved.
You've got your troubles, I've got mine.
This British band had multiple hits, but the magic didn't last. By the late 60s, their sound was considered outdated. Their lead singer was rumored to have secretly auditioned for a solo career behind the band's back, leading to tensions that tore them apart. Others say an infamous argument over the direction of their third album led to physical altercations in the studio. Whatever the truth, the fortunes faded into obscurity, despite a brief comeback attempt in the 70s.
I'm on the next plane to London, leaving on runway number 5.
A one-hit wonder folk rock band, the Rose Garden had everything going for them, except longevity. Their label rushed out an album, but when it didn't sell, they were dropped instantly. 2 members were later drafted into the military, and that was the end.
Baby, over there, I gotta start.
But what about the wild rumor that they turned down an opportunity to record a song that became a hit for another band? Some say Leaving on a Jet Plane was originally offered to them before John Denver took it elsewhere.
Fire to destroy all you've done.
Arthur Brown's band set the psychedelic rock world ablaze, literally. Brown was infamous for wearing a flaming helmet on stage, but his over-the-top theatrics eventually led to disaster.
To destroy all you've done.
One show allegedly ended with the venue catching fire, though reports vary on whether it was real or a PR stunt. His chaotic stage antics were matched by internal band turmoil, with members quitting mid-tour. Some claim Brown's erratic behavior, possibly fueled by psychedelic experiments, drove his bandmates away. By the early 70s, the band was done, but Fire remains a cult classic.
It seems so funny to me.
The Beau Brummels were America's answer to the British invasion, but they couldn't sustain their momentum. Label mismanagement left them struggling for creative control, and their sound was constantly being reshaped against their will.
So I cry just a little 'cause I love you so. And
Some say their label forced them into recording an album of cover songs, which flopped and killed their credibility. There's even a rumor that a lost album was scrapped because a rival band wanted to steal their spotlight. The Beau Brummels' influence remains, but their career was full of what could have been moments.
Traces of love long ago.
Classics for perfected smooth, jazzy pop rock, but behind the scenes, things were anything but smooth. Their biggest hits were all tied to shifting lineups, and internal tensions grew as members felt overshadowed.
A little girl like you.
Rumors persist that the lead singer, Dennis Yost, fought to keep control while other members secretly sought solo deals. As musical trends changed in the 70s, they faded into obscurity. Some say that their manager mishandled royalties, leaving the band penniless despite their success.
Don't you care? Don't you care?
For a brief moment, the Buckinghams were Chicago's pride, riding high on a wave of pop rock hits. But as quickly as they rose, they crashed. The band's sound was shaped by producer James Guercio, who later left them to work with Chicago, the band. Some insiders claim Guercio saw more potential in Chicago and quietly pushed the Buckinghams aside. By the late 60s, the group was out of steam, and their final albums barely made a dent in the charts. An instrumental rock band that rose to fame, thanks to a hit song, No Matter What Shape Your Stomach's In, based on an Alka-Seltzer commercial jingle. But their success was a manufactured illusion. The real musicians behind their records were members of the legendary Wrecking Crew. When the T-Bones tried to transition into a real band, they struggled. There are whispers that an attempt to rebrand as a vocal group failed miserably, leading to their rapid decline. They were quickly forgotten, except by hardcore music collectors.
To turn down day, something on my mind.
John Lennon himself named The Circle, but even a Beatles endorsement couldn't save them from obscurity. Their breakout hit, Red Rubber Ball, was actually co-written by Paul Simon, but their follow-ups failed to capture the same magic.
Morning sun is shining like a red rubber ball.
Some say a shady record deal locked them into bad contracts, preventing them from exploring their full potential. Others claim they were too clean-cut for the psychedelic era, making them an easy casualty of changing musical tastes. The band called it quits by 1968. This South African band had a surprise international hit with Master Jack, but for Jack's and a Jill's success was short-lived. Some blame political tensions. Since they were from apartheid-era South Africa, international support was limited. Rumors also swirl about internal feuds, with lead singer Glenn Eastlund allegedly refusing to relocate for bigger opportunities. Despite a few follow-up singles, they never repeated their early success. The band faded away, though Master Jack remains a beloved folk pop relic. The Outsiders were pioneers of garage rock, but their story is full of mischances. Their early singles were hits including Time Won't Let Me, but when their label pressured them to go pop, they lost their gritty appeal. Lead singer Sonny Geraci later formed another band, but the Outsiders themselves disbanded in the early 70s. Some say an internal lawsuit over royalties kept a proper reunion from ever happening. Others claim a rejected album, rumored to be their best work, was shelved indefinitely. Psychedelic garage rock at its finest. The Seeds were ahead of their time with songs like Pushing Too Hard and Can't Seem to Make You Mine. But their frontman, Sky Saxon, was a self-proclaimed mystic who took their flower power aesthetic a little too seriously. He reportedly burned through band funds financing bizarre spiritual retreats. Others say a series of disastrous live performances, where Saxon allegedly forgot lyrics or fell off stage, led to their downfall. By the early 70s, they had dissolved, leaving behind a small but loyal cult following. Jimmy Gilmer and the Fireballs burned brightly in the early 60s with their infectious rockabilly sound. Sugar Shack dominated the charts, but internal dramas soon took over.
Everybody calls it the Sugar Shack.
Rumors circulated that Gilmer wanted a solo career and secretly recorded tracks without the band's knowledge. By the time their next single dropped, the Fireballs had splintered into factions. Some claim a lost album was never released due to a dispute over songwriting credits. Mercy's dreamy ballad Love Can Make You Happy became a 1969 anthem, but their success was short-lived. The band was caught in a bizarre legal battle. Two separate groups claimed to be the real Mercy, leading to lawsuits and confusion among fans. Original members tried to regain control, but the damage was done. Disillusioned, they disbanded, leaving behind a hit song with a murky history. Jay and the Americans were hitmakers with songs like Come a Little Bit Closer, Cara Mia, and This Magic Moment. But behind the scenes, their story was anything but harmonious. Internal rivalries plagued the group, with multiple lead singers cycling through. Rumor has it that their original frontman, Jay Traynor, was forced out after a heated dispute over royalties. His replacement, Jay Black, kept the band relevant, but mounting debt and personal issues led to their eventual collapse. Even more shocking, in 2006, Black lost the rights to the band's name in a bankruptcy auction. Though the hits endure, the band's legacy remains clouded by financial woes and fractured relationships. From garage rock pioneers to psychedelic visionaries, these 20 bands shaped the 60s but ultimately disappeared into obscurity. Some fell victim to industry politics, others to internal chaos or changing musical trends. But one thing remains certain: their music continues to echo through time. Which of these bands do you think deserve a longer career? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Retro Rewind for more deep dives into music history.